offensive player all the time. Or if you're the defensive player, you never know.
Only time you see a player raise his hand anymore is when he doesn't want to pin another foul on a superstar player. There's on the challenge. Clean now, calmly. Now he's free throw.
Get ready. 3, 2, 1.
His pace, last few possessions.
So let's run that back. Trae Young down the lane. Capella didn't even really have it. He dunked with his wrist, and then Embiid was like, nah, partner, it ain't going down like that. One-on-one.
Get ready. Right.
It's the steal, it's the dunk.
Left.
Very unusual.
Right.
Both coaches at one point had a full line change on the
Left.
players playing against one another.
Right.
That puts a change for not bringing in the second half. Certainly a change for Mike.
Left.
Now offensive rebound. Here's got another steal. Back out to traffic free.
Right.
Here's the murder, and that is deflected. That's saved by Simmons.
End of exercise.
Pass to Harris.
In this exercise.
Okay, so this is our experience with the Sword Health Home Physical Therapy. Okay, this is my husband, Daryl, and he has been doing Sword for approximately how long, Daryl?
2-3 weeks.
About 2 or 3 weeks. And everything was going great, right? You thought you was making some strides. How was your knee? You did it initially because you had what type of pain?
Knee and rotator cuff, so we started with our knee. Started with my knee, my left knee first.
So it was awesome because someone is actually watching all of your movements, and they kind of changed your therapy up pretty much almost every few days based on your pain that's showing on the monitor. Okay.
How well you're doing, or your movements, or whatever.
Okay. So, how do you? But first of all, let's thank your employer for making it available, because that's awesome to do therapy at home, especially now that a lot of people didn't want to go outside due to the pandemic, staying distant, and it really looked like they really could tell what was going on. Sometimes the machine would ask you how much, they would ask you about your pain after each one of your segments and moves. However, but the number one thing you recommend that everyone do
some type of walking and warm up, and then stretch a little bit before you get started.
Okay, so what's a pro? We did do the one pro that we talked about was being able to do it at home, and them catering looked like it was catered specifically to you. But I think one of the cons that they didn't tell you, that I experienced you coming up here some days, you didn't actually know what the workout was going to be.
Yeah, I talked about that to them. I reached out to them and said, hey, man, sometimes you ought to change and it require a little more equipment than communicated. Like, I had to do the stair step. But I had already was doing it in the game room, right? So I had to run back in here and get a stair step. You know what I'm saying? So it's dinging me. Because you ain't back in time because next hasn't started, or you ain't in right posture position or whatever.
So what I think is a con, because they don't show you in advance, is that you can't warm up that body part in advance. So because of that, today during one of your exercises, you kind of maybe pulled or something. So now you got to work on something else. Are you going to tell them about?
I'm just going to reach out and tell them what I'm experiencing and what I'm doing about it, and let them kick in as soon as I
see what they say.
Phone.
Yeah, because I think, because do you want to ice it? I know you using your massager right now. We'll just take a little look, because you got a little massager right there that's kind of massaging it, which is cool. Thank God you had that, because I don't have to massage. But so there is the pro.
The reason I bought it, cause
I didn't want it to massage. Correct. So the pro is that it's a home therapy, and they do modify it for you based on your pain that you told them you were having. But the con is that they change up your routine and don't tell you in advance, so you don't know
Well,
which
I
body
experienced
part.
that one time, and I communicated that to them, so I'm sure they're gonna make the correction, right? So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say, now that you communicate that, if they come up with an exercise that requires equipment that you don't have, they'll let you know.
Okay, so I guess what we need to say to everyone who's watching the video, that if you do the home sword health, to let them know you would like to know the exercise in advance, so you know to warm up that body part, so you won't be working on something
Any
that
equipment needed.
and any equipment needed, right? But you don't want to hurt something else and be working on something else.
Right.
Okay, so overall, from 1 to 10, 10 being best, how would you rate the Sword Health Home Therapy?
I give it a, now that I know, it'll be a 10 from now on, because I know what the.
Yeah, but based on what you experienced.
Say about an 8.
About an 8, so that's not bad. That's passing.
Yeah, that's good.
And plus, now that you kind of gave everybody your experience, they should have a 10 experience.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is Daryl again. He was doing the Sword home physical therapy for his knee, and ran into a little snag with an exercise that they gave him today. So we're having to kind of work.
I would say this too: if you feel a little something,
Just
reach
great.
out to them and let them know before you do something like this. I forgot to tell them. I felt my hamstring kind of doing a little something.
On that, you was doing it
they
the
might
other
have
day.
could have told me to warm it up or something like that. So I'm gonna say, a lack of communication from my part about what was going on. You can't depend on these little buttons to tell them everything when you move. You know, they getting how you moving and how far you're moving, but you might need to reach out through the text because they got communication. They quick about responding.
Well, that's a good thing too, that they respond quickly.
Right.
That's good. All right. Thanks for visiting Woodruff Family Wisdom. Again, this is Daryl and Rose.
And remember
That you are happy, healthy, wealthy, fit, and forgiven. Never quit.